Money cannot buy personality. PR companies are cautious as Meghan desperately repairs her image. She is reportedly looking for PR people in the UK. However, is it possible to do everything if you have money? Let's explore this idea with me right now in this video. So now we're hearing that she who must be obeyed is on the hunt for a British PR company to help her relaunch her image in the UK. I don't know about you, but I'm seeing so many red flags. Remember when Meghan Markle hired Sunshine Sachs? She gave them the brief to repair and rebuild my shattered image. People are now saying, and rightly so, that the PR wizards are going to be nervous because Meghan is famous for not listening to anybody. Now, I've got a friend at one of Britain's biggest and most successful PR companies, and this company has offices in two major cities as well as London. And his opinion is nobody is going to rule out taking on Meghan Markle if she approaches them. So it looks like that's our answer, folks. I think it's improbable that they're going to say no to her if she's willing to pay them the big bucks, and we shouldn't be surprised by that. When it comes to dealing with the purveyors of weasel words, it is all about money. Now, a few years ago, my good friend had to use the services of a PR company. They certainly were not the most reputable of firms to work with, but they know how to get results. Well, this is something Meghan Markle knows all too well, and she is a willing participant. And I think I know what you're thinking right now. You can take the girl out of the yacht, but you can't take the yacht out of the girl. Well, it doesn't matter if it's the best PR team in the entire world. People are still not going to like Meghan Markle. And it's not her image they don't like, it's her as a person. Honestly, though, I'm not really surprised that a PR company would consider taking Meghan Markle on. It's all about money. If the devil himself hired them, they'd probably do it. For the money and also the kudos they would get for any piece of success they managed to achieve. Just look at WME. The talk Meghan is doing or did this weekend, even though WME or Archwell had to pay for it. The photos with the designer or the ones with the Oprah producer, they consider all that to be successful. I mean, even the fashion show and the paparazzi walks in Canada. Table 12, anyone? And what about that red carpet interview where the assistant had to tell Meghan to move along so the event could go on? It doesn't matter how absurd the world views these things. The PR companies count them as successful because, well, they got Meghan seen and sometimes they got her heard. So that means they did their job. And if it all fails, well, that's Meghan's fault. But if you ask me, all of this is just another Meghan Markle fantasy. No PR company is going to accept her unless there is a sign from Buckingham Palace that they're interested. But my suspicion is this silence is only going to get louder. No PR company is going to be dumb enough to take Meghan on if all she really wants to do is continue to trash the royal family and Britain. And as for money, well, what money? Harry and Meghan are running out of money, let's remember. They can't even afford their expensive security anymore. To me, this sounds like another puff piece coming from Meghan Markle, and some people seem to be believing it. Just think of what would happen if Meghan Markle dared to set foot in Britain again. She would be booed so loudly she'd go running. But she never really gives up, does she? People really are fickle these days, though, aren't they? I mean, how in the world can the royal family allow a person or persons with such sketchy past to display dishonesty, drug abuse, and sleeping your way to the top? Not to mention jealousy and telling these absurd lies, defaming the monarchy, openly bragging about trying to destroy the monarchy. How could people like that be allowed to return to supposedly modernize the monarchy? I mean, Meghan Markle has her own ulterior motives, obviously. I mean, there are always ulterior motives with her. She cannot be trusted, and she's probably got some backers. So what are their motives? Meghan Markle does not have the best interests of the monarchy in her mind. I mean, that's a ridiculous idea. Buckingham Palace is going to have to up their game if they want to make it through this whole mess. And they don't need Meghan Markle's input. Why would they? What, because she's a woman of color? Give me a break. The public needs to see the character, and Meghan Markle has shown hers already. She's a loser. She's a liar. She's never accomplished anything noteworthy. Her fan base is just as awful and vicious as she is. She said that she refused to ever step foot in the UK again. But as you know, narcissists are always pathological liars too. But does anybody out there think the British people are going to be okay with somebody who is not even British, making it known that she's going to help the monarchy? somebody who couldn't escape the UK fast enough, who proceeded to then take pot shots at this very same monarchy, mock the Queen, and obviously controlled Harry, made him treat his grandparents with such cruelty in their final days. And after telling everybody that she hates the UK and she would never set foot there again, well, what in the world is she hoping to achieve by hiring a PR team in the UK? Is she thinking they're going to be able to exert some influence on the king, so the king is going to end up pleading with her and Harry to come back as senior working royals? Absolutely not. No chance. If the Carparkles do move back to Britain, I do wonder, are Marcus and Doria going to come too? Are they going to be allowed to live and roam around on crown property if Harry has a royal residence? I'm sure Meghan would insist on her bestie Marcus being there and her mother too. And then what about the invisible children, if they really exist, and their nannies? Harry would need a very big home, I would think. I mean, a minimum of 16 bathrooms, or maybe Harry can just apply to take over Buckingham Palace as his primary residence. Of course, those tourists might be a problem, though. Gonna have to stop them from invading his privacy. I cannot help but wonder if this has anything at all to do with Harry's visa troubles in the US. So maybe they're hoping to escape the US before he gets kicked out. So if Harry's visa in the US is canceled, is he going to be allowed to get another visa to visit? And what about Meghan Markle's Hollywood career? I mean, is she going to abandon her search for acting work, or is she going to bring it to the UK? I can't imagine any UK producers or directors wanting to sign her up, but you never know, I guess. Now, maybe Meghan could play Anne Boleyn. She could act also as a colored Queen Elizabeth I, or even a colored Queen Victoria. Or if that doesn't work out, maybe she could request the king to provide her with a private jet so she can commute to LA because, her big break is coming any day now. I swear, that woman lives in a fantasy world. The monarchy is not a popularity contest. The monarchy is not going to be influenced by a tacky PR blitz. Meghan apparently, though, cannot understand that. I'm sure the palace knows good and well how disliked she is by the public, and that giving even a passing thought that she and Harry are going to come back would be insane. The monarchy doesn't care about Harry and Meghan as individuals. They have got to be ruthless in order to have survived 1,000 years. And I'm sure the security services are all over her digital media wolves. I'm happy, though, that she is throwing what is left of Harry's money right down the toilet. Most people in the UK despise her antics, and Meghan Markle is never going to be welcomed back, ever. She will be laughed out of the royal court altogether. Once trust has been broken, there's no way to rebuild it. So why doesn't she stop throwing her money away and just hide for a little bit? Her word salad that we keep hearing over and over again has zero effect. It's getting really boring. The desperation to stay relevant after everything they have said and done is just surreal, and it's also embarrassing. Somebody, please make it stop. I mean, people in the US are also getting trolled by this Duke and Duchess stuff, and that's precisely what Meghan wanted. The alleged titles intimidate people into seeing dollar signs, which is why they flaunt it everywhere they go. There is a real monarchy, though, that people in the UK absolutely love. And then there are the fake, faux royals who have set up shop in the US. And you, what do you think about this news? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. If you think this video is useful, don't be afraid to like and share it with anybody else who would enjoy it anytime you want. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Goodbye, and I'll be back to see you tomorrow.